Now, we've all been experimenting a lot with food. That's what we love to do here in India, whether it's Indo-Chinese, Indo-Italian. We even had a whole range of new cuisines entering the market. But for the first time now, we're actually seeing a lot of experimentation with Indian food.
For the longest time, we've had your love for tandoori chicken or paneer really ruling the roost. We'd refuse to do any kind of experimentation. But now we're seeing that a lot more in the Indian cuisine space when it comes to fine dining. But more and more, it's getting into a casual ambience as well. We're exploring the trend.
Think India, think Indians, and yes, think food. An Indian food with a twist. Bring it on. Whether it comes from across the Great Wall or the land of the Leaning Tower or that of the Aztecs, Chinese, Italian, Mexican, all of their food is great as long as it's swaddled in Indian spices. But the reverse, the experimentation with Indian cuisine itself has a more upmarket bent. It's a trend that has emerged abroad. Michelin star restaurant Cuisine opened in 1999 at Taj 51, Buckingham Gate in London. It specializes in southwest coastal Indian cuisine. Chef Sriram Ayalur used Indian fruit-like kokum and moili sauce to add flavor to his specialties, such as lobsters and kokum chutney and seafood moili. Chef Vivek Singh followed suit when he opened the Cinnamon Club in London in 2001. He made Shorshe Butter March a Bengali favorite using Scottish halibut fillet instead of the commonly used Indian bekti. It's called seared halibut with Bengali do pyaza sauce. Across the Atlantic, there's been experimentation with Indian food. So clearly, the tweaking of Indian cuisine is not an all-new phenomenon. However, it has been confined to five-star hotels. Masala Craft at the Taj Mahal Palace in Mumbai opened in 2002, the first to pioneer this experimentation with their gulab jamun creme brulee. So what has led to the recent surge in experimentation?
I think there are two main reasons. The first is that we have chefs who are very, very qualified and who understand Indian food and who want to do something different with Indian food. But I think equally importantly is that Indians themselves as diners, as consumers, are becoming a lot more adventurous. They're becoming a lot more confident. They are looking for something more unusual and interesting.
Of course, experimentation is never easy. It takes a lot of trial and error.
Really needs to be sure of what it is that they want to do with it. Be through interplay of different flavors and influences and then coming together in one preparation or one plate. And the other, of course, which is the other extreme, is modernist technique. There's a third one, essentially, which I think is also very exciting, which is essentially packaging it in a way that has a broader appeal.
Fine dining places like Masala Library by Jigs Kalra are reaping the benefits of the explosion in experimentation. And the number is growing. Delhi has standalone restaurants like Indian Accent or Work at the Taj Mahal Hotel that are experimenting with Indian cuisine. And Mumbai houses restaurants like Pali Bhavan, Zia at the Oberoi Hotel and Masala Library by Jigs Kalra. Though Masala Library is just a year and a half old, it has changed its menu 4 times to keep up the surprise quotient. Masala Library uses a bunch of techniques. It mixes bacon with tandoor, combining Kashmiri morels, dry Chardonnay carbonara, cheddar cheese and bacon. All of it goes into a tandoor. And the experimentation extends to desserts. Kewar cheesecake, chicky with Western New York cheesecake, garnished with rose petal and nuts.
We introduce unique elements, modern elements in presentation as well as gastronomical techniques like molecular gastronomy to introduce an element of surprise into the fray, to really create a sense of drama, create a sense of uniqueness to the food that we all know and love.
So how much business sense does all of this experimentation make?
You know, when we started off Masala Library, it was a big punt. This makes amazing business sense. In fact, there are a lot of restaurants that are now getting into this genre. And we're excited about the competition. People have realized that this concept works. There's a lot of money to be made, and whenever there's money to be made, there's going to be a gold rush-like scenario.
On one hand, we have places like Masala Library that are adding a twist to their cuisine by using different ingredients. On the other hand, we have places like Monkey Bar that are changing the presentation of the Indian food that we see around ourselves every day.
Known for its quirky one-liners, Monkey Bar was the first cafe to latch on, like serving whiskey in a very Indian copper mug. Their manga mixes vodka with fresh aam panna. Taking a cue from Rajasthan, they have lal mas and kesrangari pulka, which basically squeezes Indian lal mas between pulkas in the form of the Mexican taco.
Taking previously considered high-end concepts and making them accessible and approachable to a much larger audience.
Gauging the popularity of the trend, Zorawa opened Farzi Cafe last year. Here they offer traditional Raj Kachori using chutney in the form of foam, pomegranate and bhindi. So where will the trend grow?
But it's kind of this sit-down, kind of casual kind of place, I think, which is best typified by places like Bombay Canteen and Monkey Bar, where you want a nice ambience, you want a nice setting, you want good service, you want well-plated food, but you don't want to dress up for it and you don't want to pay too much for it.
So affordable places will see a surge like this one in the heart of corporate hub Lower Parel in Mumbai. The Bombay Canteen has taken on the ambience of a gymkhana and served up some interestingly twisted dishes, of which partner Yash and Chef Thomas seem to be pretty pleased. One of the things that stands out or that draws people to the restaurant is the food itself and the fact that it's so specialized and experimental. So tell us how you got the idea, how you decided it was something that was going to work here in India.
It's a concept that's universal, but it involves flavors that we are all familiar with, but use combinations that are new, refreshing.
So what is it about experimental Indian food that is attracting so many customers and suddenly becoming so the rage?
We're using local ingredients, we're using seasonal ingredients, and we're also melding flavors from different parts of the country. So you'll find Gujarati tepla with the chettinad chicken
and this
topping.
Is typical tacos.
Yes.
But not very typical, clearly.
Yes, but it's, again, when you think about it, it's easy to eat, it's familiar flavors, it's fun, and it's different enough to be exciting and, you know, welcoming for anyone who comes in.
When you have a sense of familiarity, but you're building a twist into it, that seems to be where the action is.
Exactly.
But we've seen it in the fine dining space. The transition from it being a fine dining experience to it being a little more massy, like what you're bringing to the table over here, seems to be a very quick one. You agree with that?
I do. I feel it's very good because a lot more people are getting great food, a great ambience. The reason we also call ourselves the Bombay Canteen is all of us at some point of our lives have been to a canteen. We've shared a meal across, but it's also that memory of that fun time that you spent.
Yeah, there's a community feel
There's
to
a community feel to it, right?
As far as the experimentation goes, when it's happening in Indian cuisine, what's really driving it? Because, I mean, for the longest time, we haven't seen experimentation. We started off, Abba said, you know, your butter chicken, etc. People don't want to experiment too much with the kind of food that is, you know, inherent in our culture. But now suddenly there is all this experimentation.
There's a lot of uncharted territory because, like you said, every other Indian restaurant has the same menu. There's so much more to Indian cuisine than meets the eye. There's so many parts of India that are unexplored. There's so many ingredients and so many flavors and flavor combinations. So we're just trying to bring all of those together in different ways and keep it familiar and exciting and delicious, like you said. You know?
All right, so good luck, gentlemen, going ahead from here with the Bombay Canteen. This is the first installment. We hope to see many more and more twists to your cuisine as well. Many thanks for welcoming us here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
On that note, we are taking a quick breather here on this edition of Aspire. Here's what's coming up.